Manila. DeWanda, first, my first question is, how did you remain so glowing in all the scenes up until the very end?
Sunscreen. My secret is sunscreen.
Okay, I
I
love
make
that.
sure to spray it. I wish I could be like, really, I was well hydrated and I used Fenty.
Uh,
No, it was sunscreen.
oh my gosh, your skin was impeccable. I was just glued to it on screen the whole time, yet while you were doing all the action scenes. And speaking about that, what preparations did you do for the role, especially that you were a pilot in it?
Yeah, it was like a combination of, like nerdy actor research and just like looking up what it meant. Honestly, part of like something I haven't actually talked about a lot was what it means to be a woman in the military. You know what I mean? And how tough you end up being and you have to be to like make it through training program and like actually serve. So that was a good portion of it. And I wanted to make sure that she felt like a woman who had gone through basic training, you know? So yeah, so that was super important to me. And, I also just didn't want to get to work and be winded. So I made sure I made sure that I could, at least try to pretend to keep up with Chris Pratt.
Oh my gosh, you were all over. And speaking of the training, what trainings did you do?
I weightlifted for about a year out, and
Wow.
then to make sure that you could actually see the muscles. It's very traditional, very nerdy, very boring, very like you can look at Bodybuilder 101. Like I started running about 4 months out. So then I'm like eating, building muscle, 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 and then like shredding it down
Bulking
so that
up
you could
in the
see it.
shred.
Hmm.
All right. Wow, it really worked. I'm sure you're gonna be the Fitspo when this comes out. And besides this, how was it working with Chris and the rest and
A
the
dream.
OGs?
Yeah, it was an absolute dream. I mean, it's an exceptionally generous cast. Chris Pratt makes sure everyone looked good and also that no one pulled a hamstring. So he had a way of looking out for all of us, not only in terms of our performance to make sure that we were like physiologically ready, to pretend to be like, I'm afraid of being eaten by dinosaurs. But also, just he's a true leader on set. And everyone kind of had that same all hands on deck, looking out for each other, making sure we were ready, that everyone was kind of like, everyone had their hero moments. Everyone knew when to give and take space, which
Wow.
is not an experience that you often have when there's so many stars
Hmm.
involved.
Wow, yeah. I mean, nine of you as the lead, right?
Yeah.
But it all blended well so perfectly. And for my last question, there are some reflections at the end of the film about all the lessons being learned. Did you learn while doing it? Can you share some reflections?
I think it was always the theme of the franchise was just it's one of the only things, I didn't see the movie until I was or the original movies I should say until I was offered the role. But when it comes to being an environmentalist, with being mindful that we only have this one earth right now, until we can inhabit Mars, this is it, and that kind of human responsibility of what it means to be a steward of this planet was always very, near and dear to my heart. I was the kid who would come home with a bird to resuscitate, in Baltimore City, and my mom's like, "What are you doing? Please stop trying to bring diseases home." So it's it's always been, kind of innate, and so it's a big deal that I'm a part of this franchise. I'm very thankful.
Wow, that's why you're perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank you.
Dewanda.